Welcome to heCast, the official podcast of He Changed It. My name is Mike Chisholm. As always, I'm extremely excited to be here, having conversations with cool people. Al Snow, thank you for taking time out of your day to be here with us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Mike. I'm very excited to be here.
As a pro wrestler, one of the things that you need to do to survive is to continually be able to pivot and reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you did that
you've
in your
got
career and
to,
your, oh, go ahead.
it's just integral, that you have to embrace change. It's the one most difficult thing for people to do. Most of our misery that we create in life and our anxiety is our need to control. And our need to control is born out of one thing, and that's out of fear. And, it's easy to say, I know, but you really have to make a conscious decision as to whether or not you're going to let fear dictate your life or you're going to have your life dictate your fear.
A lot of people are taking COVID and using it as an opportunity. And it seems
Sure.
like you are doing your best effort to do that.
There is always no matter what the challenge, no matter what the problem, there is always a solution. It's just that you've got to ask yourself the right question to get the right answer. And sometimes the hardest thing is to try to figure out what the right question is. You can go through all kinds of questions and it'll never provide you the right answer. But eventually, if you keep at it, you'll you'll figure it out, and you'll figure out a solution to the problem, and you'll move on. Because there is no problem without some type of solution to some
Right.
degree.
And searching for that solution is integral.
One of the truest mantras are that misery loves company. And
Yes.
and that really, unfortunately, is what has been driving social media so much these days.
The character that you played back then, I want to go back to that for a minute.
Sure.
It took courage to play that character. It took courage to go into restaurants and at the end of the day, I mean, how many days of the year did you make a scene somewhere? Probably every single one of them.
Pretty much.
Whether it's a big scene or a small scene. Could that be
Yeah.
done today? If one of your students
Yeah.
came to you and said, "Hey, I want to develop this character that is as button pushing potentially for a certain audience or politically incorrect for a certain audience," could that be
Yeah.
done today?
Yeah, absolutely. Can, because it wasn't a character, and it was just an aspect of my personality that I turned way up. At the time, I mistook a lot and was very immature, and I blamed a lot of other people and outside external influences on my own frustrations, and really it came down to the fact that it was really me, and my not focusing on the right things that led to my frustrations and not being as successful as I felt that I should be.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I did was the head gave me that voice, to bring that side of that frustration out. So the reason that it worked was because it really was who I was. I wasn't really legitimately, I guess. I mean, maybe if I were to, analyze myself, I could say that I was, clinically to some degree insane. But you know, when, to that end, who's to judge? Because somebody views reality differently than another person doesn't necessarily mean that they're insane.
I love the way that you I love the way that you put things. I love how deep you go on these things and how the psychology wormhole for you goes so deep on all of these subjects. As we kind of move to a close here, I want to talk a little bit about the book. Al, who is such a good teacher, has done a phenomenal job of creating a memoir for his career with a lot of those amazing stories. But he has actually taken responsibility, even in the title, Self-Help Life Lessons from the Bizarre Wrestling Career of Al Snow. And I mean, you go through the book, and I mean, there's
Mhm.
life lessons all over the place. Some of them comical, some of them
Yeah,
totally true. Life lesson: if you won't stand up for yourself, why the hell would anyone else? And hey,
sure.
guys, a lot of guys out there, that's what we need to do. We need to stand up for ourselves a little bit, because many of us are getting kicked around, and we talk about that. And that's one of the things that He Changed It is trying to get rid of. Life lesson: in 10 years' time, you will regret the things you didn't do more than the things that you did. And on and
That's
on
true.
and on and on. Al, did you mean to write a personal development book?
No, no, I just meant to, show where I've grown, and accept. I wanted to accept the responsibility for the mistakes I made, and then how it's shaped me and made me into the person who I am today. Not saying that who I am today is perfect. I still make plenty of mistakes.
Sure.
But I think Muhammad Ali said it best, that if you still view the world the same at 50 as you did at 25, then you've wasted 25 years. And I realized a long time ago that the more I accept my mistakes, the less anyone can use them against me. The more I take their power away, and the more I put it back in my hands by just simply owning up to them and going, "Yep, you're right. I screwed up," and now I'm moving on, because let's face it, we all love to judge each other, you know,
Sure.
as if we haven't made any mistakes. And one of the mantras that I always like to tell people is, listen, don't judge other people just because they sin differently than you. You
Oh,
know,
it's another one. That's another one.
because it's the
Um,
truth.
Not judging each other is a huge thing. The other thing you said there that I just couldn't agree with more is giving people our power. And I think in this
Mhm.
time, until the pendulum does start to swing back, we can realize that we can turn off the social media and realize, like you said, I'm still going to get up and I'm still going to have the opportunity to live my day the
And
way that I'm going to live it, no matter what is being said on social media. I don't want to give
right.
those people power anymore. I'm so grateful that I know you, and I appreciate you doing us this solid and coming on heCast today.
Oh,
Um,
same here. Thank you very
oh,
much, Mike.
no problem at all. And we will do our best to help promote Ohio Valley Wrestling. And let's all climb to some higher highs, my friend.
Yeah, and let's just have fun. None of us are going to make it out of this thing called life alive. So why not relax, unclench your butthole, and just laugh a little bit?
And
Quit
with
getting so
that,
offended.
absolutely. And with that, another episode of heCast is in the can, as they say. We are very grateful for our guest today, Al Snow. For those of you who haven't downloaded the beta yet, go to hechangedit.com. You can sign up for the beta, but it's going to be in the App Store here very, very soon. We're very excited about that.
Cool.
Info at hechangedit.com if you want any other information. And with that, for heCast, I am Mike Chisholm. Thank you very much.